Recognizing the toll the pandemic has taken, Mr. Javid called on the public, charities, businesses and mental health sector to share their views and help shape his approach to ensure it works for everyone. He said the new plan would set out the action needed to help everyone lead healthier, happier lives. His declaration comes just 6 weeks after the Daily Express launched its By Your Side crusade, which has put the issue at the heart of the national conversation. Mr. Javid said, "The By Your Side campaign has done brilliant work to raise awareness of this issue. It's been really encouraging to see more conversations taking place about mental health during this pandemic, and this campaign will help so many people over the Christmas period. It's so important to me that mental health and physical health are treated with the same urgency. For anyone who is struggling, my message is clear: it's okay not to be okay. Please reach out, and help is here for you." Mental health services and unprecedented demand have left millions at the mercy of a postcode lottery, unable to get help. For others, successive lockdowns have left them suffering in silence, dogged by loneliness and depression. Charity Mind has called on the government to commit £1.5 billion to treat children and young people over the next 3 years as the fallout continues. Mr. Javid's promise made exclusively to the Daily Express comes after we launched our campaign on November 3, encouraging those struggling to speak out and seek help. It has garnered huge nationwide support from school teachers, parents, charities, celebrities, campaigners and politicians. Mr. Javid said, around 1 in 5 adults in Britain experienced some form of depression in the first 3 months of this year, more than double the figure before the pandemic began. Last year Mind faced its highest level of demand since it was founded in 1946. It was approached by 20 million people, almost a third of the UK population. And each month the charity's infoline receives 8,000 calls, equal to 258 a day or 11 every hour. There are now 1.6 million people waiting for mental health treatment and around 800,000 adults and 450,000 children and young people waiting for secondary services. 3 in 5 said their mental health had worsened during lockdown, but 1/3 did not seek help. Just 1/3 of children who need mental health support are receiving it. In July 418,357 were in contact with mental health services, the highest figure to date. The number has doubled in 5 years. The NHS said it was committed to ensuring more than 35% of young people who need support could access services. How your money will help Mind help those in need. £10 could help 15 people find hope during tough times at Mind's online peer support community, Side by Side. £15 could help Mind send out 125 information booklets, so people who are struggling with their mental health can make sense of what they are going through and find ways to cope. £50 could help 2 children feel less scared and less alone, by funding personalised mental health support through Mind's whole school approach. £100 could help Mind run a virtual school support session, so young people across England get the mental health help they need, wherever they are. But with an increasing number of children and youngsters developing mental health problems, services are drowning under the weight of demand, with only 27% being seen. Mind Chief Executive Paul Farmer said, "Our children and young people have been among those hardest hit by the pandemic. Whether that's due to disruption to schooling, missed exams, or the loneliness and isolation associated with lockdowns." As a result, a record number of under-18s are seeking help, but the NHS doesn't have the capacity to treat them. The recent spending review was a missed opportunity for the government to outline how much funding will go towards mental health services, particularly child and adolescent mental health services, CAMS. Mind has demanded extra funding for children's mental health services after concerns none of the investment recently announced for NHS and social care recovery was allocated to mental health. In some parts of the country there are clinical commissioning groups seeing as few as 1 in 5 young people who need mental health treatment. Figures show the under-18s are particularly hard hit when trying to get treatment. In June the highest number of children, 2,260, were referred for urgent mental health treatment since records began. May saw the highest number of emergency referrals for them on record, at 943. One-third of children have reached crisis point and used self-harm as a way to cope over the last year, with most in the East Midlands, where 39% of young people self-harmed. Veteran campaigner Dame Esther Ranson, 81, said, "Properly supporting and resourcing our mental health professionals is an urgent priority. Mental health is crucial to our national health. We forget that at our peril." Comment by Paul Farmer, Mind Chief Executive. It's great to see our Health and Social Care Secretary recognizing the impact the pandemic has had on the nation's mental health. It's been an incredibly difficult and unsettling couple of years. With current infection rates rising as a result of Omicron, things may get harder before they get easier. We need to avoid the mistakes of previous restrictions by continuing to offer face-to-face appointments to those who need them, investing in beds and providing proper community support. Most urgently, we need to support people with mental health problems to access vaccinations and boosters. We welcome the additional funding for mental health charities at a time of increased need, but also expressed frustration at a lack of money earmarked within the government's recent spending review, especially given 1.5 million people are currently on a waiting list for treatment and a further 8 million who would benefit from treatment can't get on the list. Our mental health is affected by a number of factors, including access to employment, support with benefits, finances and housing. A cross-government strategy should see different departments pulling together to support the nation's mental health. Something Mind has long been calling for. A successful strategy must react to the increased mental health need arising from COVID and also address historic disparity between physical and mental health problems. It must make sure the views of people with mental health problems are at its heart, particularly people living in poverty, people from different racialized communities and children and young people. Now we're well into winter, it's never been more urgent to inject money into our long underfunded mental health services. We know that the earlier people get support for their mental health, the better their outcomes and the less it costs our NHS in the long term. Funding early support hubs across England would also help make sure our young people can get the support they need in a non-clinical setting before they become more unwell. Comment by Sajid Javid, Health and Social Care Secretary. There's never been a more important time to talk about mental health. Not only has the COVID-19 pandemic led to people mourning loved ones all across the world, but there's been another less visible impact too. Around 1 in 5 adults in Britain experienced some form of depression in the first 3 months of this year, more than double the figure before the virus hit. I know that the rapid emergence of the Omicron variant, and the measures we've had to put in place to slow its spread, have been unsettling for people. As we adapt to this next phase, it's really important that we talk openly about our mental health, and look out for one another. The Daily Express by Your Side campaign has done brilliant work to raise awareness of this issue. It's been encouraging to see more conversations taking place about mental health during this pandemic, and this campaign will help so many people. During this festive period, it's really important that people come forward and take advantage of the help that's on offer. There are so many resources out there that can help, like Every Mind Matters, which provides tailored advice to help you manage your mental well-being. One of my priorities is breaking down the stigmas that are too often associated with mental health and to expand the support we're offering across the country. I'm currently overseeing the broadest expansion and transformation of mental health services anywhere in the world. We're investing £2.3 billion to grow our services and reform legislation to put patient choice at the heart of mental health care. We are also tackling the impact of the pandemic on mental health. This year we invested £500 million in our Mental Health Recovery Action Plan to support the worst affected groups. We have given over £10 million to mental health charities to ensure their vital services can continue, and we have stood up additional 24/7 crisis lines in all NHS trusts in England to make sure everyone can access help at any time. But there's always more to do, and so I'll be publishing a long-term mental health strategy looking at what action we can take to help everyone to live healthier, happier lives. We will be opening a consultation in the new year, calling on the public, charities, businesses and the mental health sector to share their views and help shape the strategy. It's so important to me that mental health and physical health are treated with the same urgency. While it is vital we all get boosted to protect our bodies, it's equally important we look after our minds. For anyone who is struggling, my message is clear: it's okay not to be okay. Please reach out, help is here. What is happening where you live? Find out by adding your postcode or visit in your area.